John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert, 30 years of experience, spent time at FICO, spent time at Equifax. All right, so today's question is actually kind of a contemporary, it's gonna be a multi-part video because in mid-2021, a new product or service was introduced into the credit repair industry, and I've gotten a lot of questions about it since, trying to do some research about it, trying to determine if it's as authentic as it's being positioned or any other feedback that I may have. And so specifically, the new product is what's referred to as the Metro 2 compliance dispute. So basically it's a letter that people can purchase and submit to the credit reporting agencies as a dispute, trying to get information either corrected or removed from their credit reports. And so the question that I'm getting is, A, is it a real thing? Is it authentic? Is it a scam? Is it just some novel, some novel thing that's not really effective, but it just kind of looks cool or sounds cool? And so that's what I'm going to address in part one today. Part two will come later as I'm gathering more and more information about this new kind of theory. So first off, what is a dispute? Well, a dispute is a challenge of the information appearing on your credit report. A consumer can do that themselves. They can hire a third party, normally a credit repair company, to do that on their behalf. That's not unusual. It happens millions of times every single year. And the hypothesis behind a dispute is you're trying to get something either removed from your credit reports or corrected on a credit report. Number two, what is Metro 2? Metro 2, this is really, really misrepresented by the blogosphere. Metro 2 is a language, so it's really the language that is used by the credit reporting industry and the companies that furnish information to them. So things like your balances and your statuses and ratings and the little comments that you see on your accounts, that is all a product of a table-based language called Metro 2. So if you think about your credit report is actually just a comma delimited series of alphanumeric characters. And that last name, comma, first name, comma, middle initial, comma, 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 comma. And there's values that are placed in all of these fields, and these fields are meant to represent certain things. And it really makes your credit report machine readable so that the information can be communicated from the credit bureaus to furnishers and vice versa using this language called Metro 2. So the theory behind this Metro 2 compliance dispute is that if for some reason your account information or your collection information is not in concert with Metro 2 requirements, then somehow the information is wrong and therefore it has to be removed or corrected on a credit report. So let's just kind of talk about a couple of things. Number one, Metro 2 is the only language available to furnishers to send information to the credit bureaus. There is no other option. It's Metro 2 or they're not a furnisher. So that's pretty simple, meaning that you can't report information to the credit bureaus in any other language other than Metro 2. So to the extent that these letters are attempting to assert that the information is not being reported in Metro 2, that's just simply factually inaccurate because it can't be reported in any other method. I'm not saying that's what the letters are suggesting, but I'm just trying to kind of close the doors as I see them. Number two is the word compliance. It's very, very troubling using the word compliance when you talk about Metro 2 dispute compliance. Metro 2 is not the law. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is the law. Metro 2 is just a series of characters and guidance. So if you're not compliant with Metro 2, it doesn't mean that anything has to be removed from your credit report. If you're not compliant with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, obviously we have a problem. But there really is no such thing as Metro 2 compliance because it's not a statute. So that's something that's very troubling. And I don't know that people can kind of draw can distinguish between the requirement to comply with the law versus adhering to a suggested industry standard. So they're very, very different things. There's actually nothing in the Fair Credit Reporting Act that requires any company to adhere to Metro 2 standards. The term Metro 2 isn't even in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So I think that's something that's important to point out, that this Metro 2 compliance things, it's actually using terminology that doesn't go together. And then finally is there's no evidence that this actually works. There's no evidence that a letter that is purported to be a Metro 2 compliance letter will result in a deletion or a change of a credit report entry at any different percentage or rate as just a garden variety letter that you can find on the internet, or a letter that the consumer writes themselves, and which makes this a theory. It's anecdotal. So until there is actual evidence supporting this theory that these letters cause corrections or changes at a higher rate than a control group or something other than these letters, then it's just simply, it's unproven at this point. The theory has been unproven that they're any more effective. So that's part one. There's a whole lot more to this, so stay tuned and look for more videos about this Metro 2 compliance issue. And thank you very much for watching. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.